I've spent 25 years in education, and a lot of that as a high school teacher or a high school principal. And throughout that time, I noticed that students in their classrooms were really bored. They would sit and take in this information. They would have to go home and do the problems in the back of a book. They would come in and get tested on it, and then they would leave. And I just see the love of learning being sucked out of people. The time has really come for us to do something different in education, not just on a local level, but on a global level. The Clariden School has a mission that is about setting a national example on how to engage kids in 21st century learning.
My name is Debbie Reardon. I am the Associate Head of School at the Clariden School in Southlake, Texas. I am a Montessori advocate and a diplomaed AMI elementary educator. This method, the Montessori method in particular, has been around for over 100 years. In the Montessori lower school, it's really about the kids. We actually don't prepare kids to focus. What we do is allow children to focus. And the way that we do that is, again, by tapping into their interests and their passions.
With the advent of the internet and the technologies that grew up around the internet, we have a world that's really changed. However, the way that we're educating children has not changed. What you have are children who are leaving a world of mobile devices and online activities, and they're entering classrooms that look largely like they have looked for the past 200 years. And the problem today with education is truly that kids are just not engaged in what's being offered them. It's important for kids to figure out what they're energized by and us to help them figure that out so that they can develop a talent, and then they can work long enough at something to find out what they love to do and where they can give their longest, best contribution.
I believe that there's a renaissance in Montessori because the world is realizing that we need to change the way that we educate our children. Here in the United States, we have been stuck in an old model, and that's why the national scores aren't reflecting a change. Clariden is needed in this area because it offers something different. It incorporates an education around the whole child. Those scores are increasing and doing well. They're the top performers. In the Montessori method, whenever a new concept is presented, there's first a story or a real experience, which kind of lures the children in to the lesson, no matter what it is, whether it's mathematics, whether it's biology, whether it's language. Then the concept, the next level would be some sort of sensorial material. We believe that children take in things literally through their senses. For instance, in the math materials, which are just incredible, in long multiplication, the children use a piece of material called the checkerboard, and they place beads to learn about long multiplication. There are many steps to the checkerboard, but they actually count the beads and realize what multiples really are. And they see literally where multiplication comes from.
The Global Strengths Program is a project-based curriculum where, rather than discrete subject areas, we have projects that kids fulfill. And to graduate, they will fulfill 16 projects in 4 different categories. And the categories correspond with traditional subject areas. Children will have to demonstrate how they went through the process and what the product they ended up with is. And they will do it in front of community members who come in and have a stake in seeing how they've done. The Clariden School needs financial support, as well as we need to have experts in the field who can help us test our ideas. We need to have community members who are going to benefit from having our kids help solve their problems. And we need people who are going to be able to help fund these ideas. And when I say fund these ideas, I mean not just help us get the equipment and the materials and the teachers we need, but make real serious investments in helping develop what works in education. Any investment that's made in education today needs to be considered a long-term commitment, because there aren't just quick answers or band-aids. This is a whole system transformation. That will take dollars, and it will take faith, and it will take networks of people who are all interested in seeing there be not just a change in one school, but a real sea shift change in how we're delivering education and how we're approaching the learner in the classroom.